Well, Guan, it's your humble host, Big Truck. Hey, yo, right back at you. If you hadn't already, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. I am live on YouTube and live on Facebook. For this locker room discussion. So, shout out to my man, Daily Wrap Up crew. But my man St. James here. I got two videos calling all men to the table, calling all kings to the table. We're gonna talk about this. You know, when you have them locker room conversations, those men only conversations. This is one of those. So grab your shoulder pads and your helmet, and let's get this work. Let's go.
Jeff, St. James, the revolution is going to be because of us. And it's unfortunate, man. And so two more questions because I don't want to hold you too long, bro.
You good, man.
Interracial relationships. I typically bring this up. I'm married now, and my wife is Black, for those that don't know. But my previous relationship actually was with a Belarusian who, for those who don't realize what people that look like from Belarus, she looked white. And
nigga, she was white.
Yeah. Well, listen, the same way I view hold on, hear me out. The same way I view that there's a clear, distinct difference between Africans and Black Americans, foundational Black Americans.
Okay, I feel what you're saying. You're making a distinction.
Yeah. She's still white at the end of the day, but I don't view American white and whites from other countries, especially if they came from the other country.
Yeah,
as
true,
she did,
true.
right? And Dr. Umar and many others, especially a lot of Black women, they get really passionate about the topic surrounding like interracial relationships and whether they think
Let me just say this. When it comes to interracial dating, me personally, I don't have a problem with that. It's not about the color of one's skin, but it's their character. It's how they treat you. It's the respect. It's the love there. Is the partnership there? Is the teamwork there? I love learning about different cultures and different people. Okay? That's the whole beauty of thinking outside the box. So many individuals need to start doing that, really. Thinking outside the box. Yeshua never said, this is the person I'm going to send you. You don't know where they're going to come from. He said he would send you a helpmeet. You don't know where they're going to come from. And you don't know their ethnic background. Long as you are open to receive. Let's continue.
it's right or wrong and who's a sellout and all this other stuff. What's your view about like interracial relationships and people's arguments against it?
Yeah, man, I have no problem with interracial relationships. I think that when we look at race, I think that a lot of people is fixated on lower level thinking. Race isn't that important at all. There's more to human beings than just race. So much more to us. It's our values. It's our goals. It's our beliefs. It's how we act and how we treat one another. Race itself would be not that important at all. So as far as culturally and how it's looked at amongst, you know, our culture and in our society in America, yeah, you got the Dr. Umars out there, which I think is funny. Like all of that is super, super funny.
I think it's funny too, because the same, like with Dr. Omar Johnson, the same race of women he tells men not to go for, he turns around and goes for. It's like, that's being a hypocrite. Come on now. When it comes to interracial dating, I know most don't like to talk about it, but I like to talk about it. I like to get other people's viewpoints on it. And in this generation we're living in, and how the world is forming, you're going to be exposed to any and everyone. I always tell people, If you live long enough, you get to experience things. Okay. I had the luxury of traveling from country to country, you know, and experiencing different cultures, experiencing different people's vibes. I'm all for interracial dating. I'm all for it. Go out there, experience life, live your best life. Think outside the box. Don't be so closed in. When you start experiencing how other races will treat you, and half the time they treat you better than your own. But once again, that's a truth and a conversation many are not ready to have. But here at the King's Table, we're going to have that discussion. Long overdue, right?
Homie gets exposed where he's not even taking care of his children, and he was basically a fraud, didn't have a business. But that news is already out there. I'm not saying anything that people don't know. But you can have an ideology and be against interracial dating, but I would ask the person, what's more problematic? If you are a father or a mother or a sister or a brother, and your sibling or child, you see that they're in a relationship with girl A, she's a white girl. This white girl comes from a nuclear family, good background, father in a life, doing pretty good, head on her shoulder. She's not out there wilding and going to the clubs and stuff like that. Or woman B, she's black. She has the same race as you, but she didn't come from any nuclear. She's raised a single mother home. She had no fatherly guidance. She's a little bit more rambunctious, outspoken, a little bit more non-compliant, a little bit more aggressive, a little rough around the edges. Which woman do you think would be a better candidate for your son?
Obviously the first one.
Obviously the first one, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, there's more to us than just the outside, the skin, the ethnicity. There's more to it as far as what's on the inside, the values that we have to bring to the table.
And that's what I agree with. That inner beauty, the inside. If a person, and I know that everybody's different, every race of woman is different, period. Okay? All are not the same. But when you come across that one, okay, and she rocks with you, she stands beside you through the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Is that the one you're going to keep? Because oftentimes you can have that one and lose that one because you were never taught. And this is why I always highlight, it's always good to have mommy and daddy in the household to give you that balance. Okay? Or even you have someone that you look up to. You see, whether it be a stepfather or stepmother, to give you guidance. And that is what we're missing in this generation, that guidance. One's preference is one's preference. You cannot get mad at a person. Correction. It behooves me how so many individuals can get mad at one's preference. Especially a black man's preference. Am I right or wrong?
And then we also have to look at it like, because when I grew up, right, because I'm dating a white woman, right? White as can be, blonde hair, blue eye, Becky, white. It's not to say that
blonde hair, blue eyed.
It's not to say that I didn't date black girls. No,
Yeah.
Those type of individuals are weird. So if you're a black man and you only date outside your race and you're like, oh, I don't want to date no black girl, then you're suffering from some type of, it can be some type of self-hate. Something's wrong there. I don't know.
I'd agree with
Something
that.
could be wrong there.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's just the case where it's based off of your demographic, like in my demographic where I was raised, there was always more white people. Like, yeah, being raised. So I was raised in really the first attractive white girl I've ever seen. I'll take you down memory lane. It was when I moved out to PA.
Okay.
Prior to then, it was white girls in middle school, but there was buns. Like, and not only that, my ideology back then was like, man, like white people just, yes, I don't know. I guess it wasn't really no attraction because I guess I didn't come across a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you change areas, all you see is the snow bunnies and you see less of your other race. So it also goes based off your demographic. It's not just.
And there's many others out there that have experienced the same thing. Okay. But let's continue to stay on this topic because it begins to open up your mind to a whole lot of things too. You know? And then one may say, you don't like your own race, you hate your own race. No, I never said that. But where does it come to a point where one can mix one's preference and one's hatred for their own race? Oftentimes individuals get that misconstrued. Oh, you hate all black women because you date outside your race. No, that's my preference. I don't mind dating within my race. I'm open to that. But I'm also open to all races, how I was raised. You see? So I'm not closing off nor disrespecting my own race when I date out of my race. I know when it comes to dating, the types of women that I will date and the types of women that I will not date. And it has nothing to do about their skin color. But it has a lot to do with one's character.
To say that, I think that a lot of people, when they are dating outside their race, it's not because like they have like this, the white girl is like, has this weird fetish with black people, or the black guy has like this weird fetish with white people and he doesn't want to date his race. I think the majority of it, based off the demographics, listen, man, he was able to find someone that can get on his program.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that woman just happened to be Spanish.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right? So
it's usually when he's ready and the woman that's in front of him, and if they connect. Yeah. It's like it happens all the time. And when he was ready, were the women around him wanting him? Because I recognize that a lot when it comes to black men specifically. A lot of ladies wait till he succeeded. They wait till he's accomplished a lot, and they didn't want him before he did that.
Oh yeah.
Me personally, I rather date a woman when she don't have it, when she's in the process. Why is that? Now we can build together. I want to see what you like when all hell is breaking loose, when there's chaos. How do you handle when things don't go your way? How do you handle when things are out of control? Do you panic? Are you quick to throw in the towel and run? Or do you stand with your man and say, babe, we're going to get through this. We're going to pray first, and we're going to come up with a plan, and we're going to execute that plan. What do you do? And I believe a large number of men are really at that point too. What type of person are you when all hell is breaking loose? What is your character then? Versus getting with someone and they've already made it. They're already successful. Me, I'm the opposite. I want to meet you and you down here while you in the process so we can build together. We can grow together. That's just me. All right?
Black girls don't like dorks. So if you was a dork growing up, look, you getting no play from none of the black chicks. If you wasn't cool, you wasn't getting no play from the black women. That's just how it is, right?
See, I wasn't that cool kid. I was that skinny nerd with glasses. The one they used to make fun of. I didn't start filling out until my senior year in high school. Well, then I was a badass on track and field. So, hey. But I get where he's going with it. When you that skinny nerd and you're that kid and you that one that they just make fun of and that guy. But then when you blossom and you bloom and you grow, can't believe you was that same skinny kid that we used to punk and bully back in junior high school and high school. Look at you now. Type of thing. Let's continue the feast.
They go like,
a lot, yeah.
A lot of them. They're like, I'm not, you a square. I'm not gonna date you. Like, why you got no swag? Why you wearing your Jordans all wrong? Like you laced them up wrong. I'm not attracted to you. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Black girls, women in general are picky, but black girls like, you got on the wrong shoes, nigga. Nah, you don't qualify.
Yeah,
and those black boys, listen, the black boys, the black men that really didn't they wasn't cultured and they didn't understand. Then he wasn't bagging no black chicks. So that was true.
And I've said it, bro. Like they may have tried in their teens and 20s to try to connect and reach out to. And then what's wild is when he does more and other women jump the line or start showing the attention to him that y'all wasn't. Or what's worse, in college, a lot of these Asian, white, and Hispanic women started showing the traits and sound like what it is I think was happening is a lot of the non-black women, especially the ones that go to American universities, there's some switch that happens about sophomore, junior year transition. A lot of them go into partying when they first come in. And then after about year 2, you start seeing the ladies that was in the party scene kind of getting locked down by,
That's what I've seen. I mean, when I went to University of Texas and then I left there and went to Hardin Simmons, exactly what I've seen. I start seeing things, more serious about the school books and things, But it was more of a thing I was never exposed to another world. And it wasn't until I got my scholarship and I left California and went to Texas. Maybe that's why I love Texas so much, but went there. Went to different campuses, did my thing, and began to surround myself around individuals that were on the same program. Man, playing ball. We got this study group over here. We got this social group over here. After football practice, this is where we going to go eat. Man, come chill with us. So I began to open my mind to different things and different people. And I'm going to tell you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. You got to be willing to think outside the box when it comes to, even if it's just interacting with different people of different cultures. Let's put the dating on hold. Let's start there. Interacting with different individuals from different cultural backgrounds. Let's start with that. And then we can lean in with everything else.
A certain guy or whatever. And what I think they're doing is, I have my fun. Now it's time to get serious. And before I leave here, I need to leave with a guy that I could project out that he's going to do X, Y, and Z. And like you're saying, I'm literally watching our sisters. We're seeing it on the Pop the Balloon challenge every day, where the reasons why they're disqualified. These guys are engineers. These guys are have these trades where they're making 200-300K and they're like, oh, I need a guy with a degree. Ma'am, you could stay home now with what he's making. Like, and and it's fact.
I'm glad he brought up the pop the balloon, because I've seen women, a large number of women, disqualify men for over the stupidest, simplest things. His shoestrings and his shoes didn't match. His shoes and his shirt didn't match. He came in there with braids in his hair, but his braids was laid nice. He came in there with lined up. It was too perfect. The littlest things. He had on a shirt that didn't go with his pants. I mean, you would be surprised. But yet, that same guy you threw away could have been more of an asset to you. But because you disqualified him over something simple and minor, what's that say about you?
And then what's wild is they don't want him while he's still building and becoming. And then when he does, and another woman gave him a chance a little bit earlier or sooner, you waiting at the finish line and then judging him for the woman that's there, that could have been you.
Yeah, most women want a man that's already built. It doesn't matter the skin color, white, black,
Right.
Hispanic. They would prefer a man that's already built.
True. And on the other hand, you have a large number of men. It's the opposite. Let's build together. Let's do this together. Because if you already going after a man, excuse me, that's already built, we'll say, why would he want you when his options has options? And that's the thing that we'll say modern women look at, because a woman of good character moves totally different. A woman of good value moves totally different. Let me make that clear.
But yeah, man,
But there's
you're
one
right.
that's so strategic, where the ones in college that try to leave with the diploma and the ring, they're the ones that I can see they have that different mindset. And then those who didn't have that mindset, especially post-college age, now y'all all competing for this small pool of men.
Yeah.
And if you've been judging men for all this superficial stuff, I can't imagine what else is probably problematic with like their behavior, their attitude, personality. I'm like, if this is the type of things you're judging men off of, I already know you probably going to have some problems.
Man, women tend to make poor choices. They don't have the ability to discern.
But the reason why a large number of women, not every, but a large number of women make poor decisions, it always got to go back. Let's go back to history. Let's go back to where it first started. Let's go back to your childhood. What did you see? What was done to you? Where you grew up? Et cetera, et cetera. All of these things play a factor. What makes you think that's why when you go see counseling, the therapist says, so tell me about your childhood? Because that's the base. And it gives the therapist something to go off of why you behave the way you behave as an adult. And why you do the things you do as an adult. A large portion of it spends from your childhood, from your upbringing. Pay attention.
To make good judgment, generally speaking. This is why they need.
Also, you don't believe in women's intuition?
Masculine guidance. No, there's no such thing as women's intuition. That's fairy tale land. That's fairy tale land. Y'all be getting these chicks on my podcast. They be like, I'm intuitive, I'm this and this. And they be like having rocks and stones and into this spiritual magic and all of this. And I just be debunking their claims and defeating their points and their arguments one by one. It's very simple.
I've never understood that.
The whole like, so It's so funny. Like
Mhm.
women claim to be intuitive, but when you
Mhm.
think about intuitive, when I guess we can Google the word,
Mhm.
um, get a definition. I guess the chat will if you Google the word. Google it for me. What is it?
Yeah. I'm about to look it up now.
Let's break it
Intuitive.
down and we'll go through it.
Well, intuition meaning the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. A thing that one knows or considers likely from instinctive feeling rather than from conscious reasoning.
Got it, right.
Mhm.
So I think some people mistake intuition with pattern recognition.
Mm.
So I think that a lot of people would be like, oh, I'm intuitive, but maybe you've experienced some things. It built up a pattern. You experience these type of men, built up a pattern. These men play games, don't really give me what I want. You experience these type of, you had all of these experiences and you built up a pattern recognition. And now you're living through life and you think that you're Neo from the Matrix dodging bullets. No, you've built up some pattern recognition like we all did. And you see the red flags. And so you're disqualifying this guy.
If, let's just say, I'm going to give 2 illustrations. If a man has been dealing with the Makitas and Shaquitas, that is what he's going to be attracted to and drawn to. That ghetto, that hood, that woman of no character, etc. But when a woman, a lady of good character walks into a room, he's not going to know how to treat her because he's been dealing with this for so long. This is what he's accustomed to. So when something good walks in the room and shows up, he's stuck. Okay, let's flip it. If a woman has been dealing with the Pookie and Ray Rays, that's what she's accustomed to. That's what she grew up around. That is what's familiar to her. When a man of good character walks into a room that is totally different than what she's used to, there you have it. She's either going to ghost him, friend zone him, find some way to disqualify him, reject him, even though he leaned in with good intentions. Even though he's different from what she's used to. You see? So just to give you an example, and with that comment, I came from both sides with it. Because you have some men that experience bad women. That's what he's accustomed to. That's what he's familiar with. That is what he gravitates to. He's not going to know how to treat that good woman. He's not going to know how to keep that good woman because he was never raised and taught how to. Those are 2 different people. She was always used to the bad boys, the bad dudes, the hood dudes. Then when a good man comes around, she's not going to know how to treat him because most of her life, this is what she's always been attracted to and accustomed to. So she's going to reject the good man to get with this over here. Then when this over here does what he do, there you have it. And that goes for men as well.
Guy, and maybe you see some good flags, but you really you're not utilizing any logic. To a degree you are being logical in a sense, but you're really not utilizing logic. And I think that women tend to lack logic because what they do prioritize and what they appeal to even more than logic and reason and even pattern recognition, they tend to appeal to their feelings first. So it's based on how they feel. So then they think that pattern recognition and my feelings, since I'm appealing to that, they'll mistake it and think that it's intuitive.
Everybody in your past can be a narcissist and you have intuition.
A lot of people are not intuitive because look at that definition. If you truly adhere to that definition, that's some spiritual God type of Jesus put the Holy Spirit on you and you got knowledge without no knowledge being there.
Yeah, it's a level of wisdom that you're applying to a situation in real time. It's almost instinctual.
It's almost
And
instinctual, and
yeah,
it's subconscious. You're not even aware that you're doing it. It's a subconscious. Your mind is moving in a subconscious way, and you're acting that way.
and it's supposed to be protective. And I'm like, the amount of drama and trauma that everybody's claiming that they're going through. And I'm like, well, how many baby daddies, how many abortions do you got to go through before y'all
That's
realize
true.
that maybe your intuition
Yeah.
ain't what you think it is?
And then you have some individuals that don't learn from their mistakes. They keep making the same mistakes. And that goes for a large number of men and a large number of women. Again, these types of discussions, these types of conversations are needed because to me, in my opinion, it gives others the ability to think outside the box when it comes to A, dating preference, B, if you have things going on within your past, you need to get that dealt with and handled because it will mess up your love life and your social life. Okay? And third, everybody's different. Each and every individual that we meet on this earth while we are breathing is going to be different. And if you are the type of individual that you can adjust to anything, you're going to be fine. You have some individuals, it's hard for them to adjust, because keeping up or doing the same thing for long periods of time, that's what you begin to become accustomed to. And that's second nature to you. That's what you gravitate to.
or at least
Look at the
you ain't got
outcomes.
it. Like,
All you do is got to look at
yeah.
women's outcomes, and you'll see that, well, you're not really that intuitive because you kept getting smashed by Tyrone. You want a relationship from him. He doesn't want a relationship from you. So then you go to Mike, but you only use Mike for for your ego. You can control Mike. Mike is simp. He been in your DMs for a lot, and you get some type of self-worth by taking this attention from Mike because you waiting on the attention from Tyrone, but you can't get it. So you go to Mike so you can feel secure inside.
Bro,
But then you go ahead
go
and get rid of Mike. There's no more Mike. You're like, man, I grew resentment for Mike. I can't respect him. And also you was talking back to Mike in Walmart, probably slapped him in Walmart a few times. So then you go on to Nick. And Nick, he piping you down again. And he almost reminds you of Tyrone. And now you like, oh, wait, I think this the one. But no. Nick went ahead and did the same thing Tyrone did to you because you don't qualify, you're unworthy. So a lot of women, they don't know how to make good judgment. So they find themselves in relationships that are very similar. And it's a cycle of repeating and going after the same type of men where they need some fatherly guidance because
that's what I basically just said. And where did it come from? So you got to trace it back. A large number of women grew up, daddy wasn't in the home. Daddy didn't pour into the daughters as one should. This is a real thing, buddy. You see? Same thing with men. A large number of men didn't grow up with no fathers. But yet, look at how they move. We've all experienced some type of trauma in our childhood, period. The real question is, what have you done? Have you received counseling? Well, I just rely on spiritual fixings, spiritual healing. No, you need to get counseling. There's some things going on. You need to sit down, and speak to someone. It's nothing wrong with an individual seeking counseling. because they have unresolved childhood issues. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that'll make a better person out of you. And when you have someone in your life and they are willing to rock with you and stand with you, oh my gosh, that is the best right there. Because that person is not judging you. That person is rocking with you. That person is standing with you and seeing you through. I've seen so many individuals die alone. I've seen it.
Women attraction triggers are very complex, right?
Yeah.
It's what they're attracted to and what they're aroused by. Yep. They can be attracted to you. They can see a good guy. Oh, this guy, he's nice. He has a good job. He's great, but he just doesn't. I'm not aroused by. Yeah. Not aroused by Kenny. I don't know. But the guy who they are aroused by are the bad guys, the guys that have the dark triad traits, right? Yeah. The guys that can put their foot down, the guys that's a little mysterious, that's hard to figure out. Those guys arouse them, so they go after those guys. But those guys are only good for short term. They're not good for long term. This is why they need their father, a brother, someone to source out that guy to be like, yeah, nah, this isn't the one.
Those spaces, we always had to give those spaces away to our women. And so now there's actually a space for Black male media and us to be able to control our narrative, because that's something that we haven't been able to do, control our own narratives. Our women have been controlling our narratives and dictating our narratives to the media for the longest. So we've never been in a position to actually really take the narrative and control it ourselves. So I agree.
Yo, and what's crazy is people are so angry about men providing a space for men to talk. I did not.
Yeah, we switched the conversation a little bit. The cost of men speaking out on social media. My opinion, I believe, the more men started having platforms speaking out, whether if it was men's mental health, Black men's mental health, relationship advice, relationship tips, entrepreneurship with Black men, women, and children, because you have some little children that are creators. They creating stuff. Anything that man talks about and he speaks up and speaks out on, especially past relationships, past marriages, he gets shamed on. Notice that, right? He get flamed on. It's almost like Kevin Samuels, rest easy, King, when he first started and how he built his platform. Large number of women came against him. They couldn't stand him because what he was saying, they knew what he was saying was the truth. It was the fact that he was saying it on a platform and many were tuning in. You see? Then everybody else jumped aboard with their platforms, speaking those same truth points, those same talking points. Why not have a platform for men where men can tune in? Elevate men. Where men can share. Men's growth. Men having locker room conversations. Men uplifting each other. Men's empowerment. It's like anything that has something to do with men's empowerment and uplifting men. Here come modern women throwing flame on it. In 2026, you have women of good character siding with men saying, whoa, wait a minute. We disconnecting ourselves from modern feminist women. We're not doing that. On the flip side, those same women of good character is holding modern feminist women accountable. They don't like that either. Let's continue.
I realized I saw it like when watching it. Y'all been doing this for years. Watching it on one end is like, oh man, women always got something to complain about. No. Once you're doing it, they're like, in their mind, you're like a criminal. We're like, we gotta ban this person, take away their podcast equipment. We gotta come up with regulations. Like they're doing everything they can to like get guys like y'all to like not be allowed to talk anymore.
They never tell Oprah to take away her camera equipment or Maury to take away his camera equipment. And like, you know what I'm saying? But now when men got a platform, now we got to take away their mics and they like, come on, man, stop.
Exactly. So
it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you something. Men's voice is speaking loud. Very, very loud. When other race of men begin to hear and to listen and pay attention, whoa, Nelly, gonna learn.
So related to that, how has being on this platform, how is that kind of, in terms of more and more views, hundreds of millions of views at this point, how has that shaped or impacted your personal relationships and even just generally going out in public? Has it changed anything? Like, what y'all think?
G, you want to go ahead?
Okay, I would say my relationship, it made things, I would just say with my my partner, at first it was rocky because, now I hold myself accountable very on the show, but it was hard for her, for me to share that information without her being able to say her part. So I understood that perspective, you know what I mean? But I also felt like if I wanted to be a leader and encourage my young black men that, follow my footsteps or hear something, and they, we look at each other and we see each other, like I see a bit of me and you, and whatever the case may be. Somebody might look at Eli and see themselves, and same thing for Ace. So once I realized that we had a voice, I didn't want to hold back anymore. So, once I had that conversation with her, it made my relationship better in a way, but it also made me realize, what bull crap I shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? It made me, not only hold myself accountable to a certain degree, but really stand on it. Because I'm not only doing this for myself, I'm doing this for the brothers just like me as well that's watching.
Nice. What about you, Ace and Eli, in terms of like how did it impact your personal relationships or even your friendships? Like once you were on this platform?
I think the biggest impact I would say I had on my personal relationships is just seeing the level of support you get from the people that's closest to you versus the people that don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? You expect the people that's closest to you to be the ones like driving you forward. You know what I'm saying? But it really come from the people that don't even know you. Like strangers, like that they just resonate with you, and they like, yeah, this is what I want to support. And your closest is like, we probably support you when you get to the top of the mountain or something. Like that.
Literally.
And then the support out, like,
So I would say that's the biggest impact on the personal relationships. As far as like going out into everyday, I ain't gonna say we B-list celebrities or anything, but we do get recognized. When we outside, and it does feel good to get that validation that we doing something that people are appreciating when we go outside. So that's good to see.
I agree with Ace and Ju. I think personally, it is getting a bit. We are starting to get a bit more recognized. Like sometimes I just be leaving the house, or I order some Uber Eats or something like that. They're like, "Yo, ain't you from that?" Like I went to go visit my little cousins over the holidays, and I was in the elevator. Guy walked in the elevator, and he was like, "Yo, you look familiar. Like you do something important." Like he was just so in awe. And I was like, I don't do nothing important. I got a little podcast. Like, that's where I know you from. So you do start to run into more people who have watched the content, and it to us it still surprises us because we don't we don't consider ourselves like, you know, a big platform. Like we still humble to we just like, you know what I mean? We still do this as a hobby. So
Yeah.
when people appreciate it in the real world, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize that, you know, you even seen the content or whatever the case is. But as far as the personal life, it hasn't really affected my relationships whenever I'm in relationships necessarily, because I don't, it's like, you know how when you don't bring home work, like, you know, I try not for the most part, like, you know what I mean?
okay,
Like except for
I'm gonna add myself to that. When I started this platform, the King's Table, I did not know what to expect. I did not know what I was getting myself into. All I know is I prayed about it, and I said, you know, it's like, man, you got a story to tell. Share your testimony. Share with the men what you've been through, how you overcame what you went through. And I'm gonna tell you something. This journey has been amazing. You know, being able to go out and just live your best life, you know, and just live it and continue to grow with it. That's the thing. I mean, I go into a grocery store and it just shocked the hell out of me that the cashier knew, you know, brother knew. Because not only am I making noise on YouTube, but I'm making noise on Facebook Live. I'm making noise on Rumble. I'm making noise on Instagram. I'm making noise on TikTok. I'm making noise on Twitch. Okay? So making noise on these platforms and putting this word out for men, it's like, you know, had one brother say, man, you look like that guy. And I'm always humble. You know, I even had somebody pick me out at work, you know, but it does feel good to be recognized. It does feel good when a person says, oh yeah, King's Table, Gold Pill. You know, it does feel good, you know, and I'm only 96,000 subscribers right now, you know, but yet when you go to the other platform, the Facebook, the TikTok, the Instagram, the Rumble, the Twitch, looking at all of these platforms. And I'm just doing it, staying consistent with it. And it does pay off. You know, I check the emails. I have individuals emailing me with questions, sending me topics to talk about. And I'm sitting here like, man, I started this podcast from my cousin's guest bedroom on a laptop, you know? But my friends, my closest friends have always been supportive. You know, K-Spade, Pete, Dexter, you know, Jarvis. I mean, people important in my life, my family, that have been so supportive that I'm sitting here and I'm looking like, damn, you know, but yet this platform has become so therapeutic for me. Being able to speak, being able to voice my opinions, do the reaction videos, you see, do the live streaming, being able to connect with the people. I love connecting with people. You know, just like, you know, when I was playing football, I didn't mind signing autographs and taking pictures. I'm all for it. I'm not arrogant. I'm always humble. And now I'm about to start another venture, Truck Nation Athletic Clothing. So, I mean, it's a blessing when you do have a platform and you build your platform and people see when you started and see where you are now and how you elevated because you stayed consistent. Some of the topics I talk about and some of my wording can be a little bit controversial, But at the same time, it's still truth being brought home. No lies detected. Like I always say, men are having conversations at the table. They're having conversations at the water cooler. They're having conversations on the sideline. They're having conversations in the end zone. They're having conversations in the locker room. Men are having conversations. Men are sharing stories. Men are uplifting each other. Men are not judging. There's no judgment on my platform. I have an open door, open table discussion. And we're going to talk about it like men, like adults. Kings come to the table with problems and issues, but leave with solutions.
The only part that resonates to me is the lack of support that you don't get from your significant others that you feel like you should get. That part is obviously resonates with me, but I try not to bring work home. You know what I mean? So the conversations I have on the show, I really don't even have with my partners. Like, you know what I mean? We probably maybe one or two clips or whatever the case is, but for the most part, I try to worry about other things that actually matter in the relationship.
When it comes to the dating factor, I'm open, but yet it taught me. Let me just say this, because the things of your past will teach you. You see, the things I learned from my 14-month marriage taught me. It taught me how to move. It taught me how to be more selective. It taught me how to use wisdom. There's no shade on no one. I'm talking about the things, the lessons that I've learned, and the things that I learned that gave me a different perspective on relationship and marriage. The next relationship I get into, it's going to be off the chain. I'm going to love, love, love. And when I'm done loving, I'm going to love some more. But when you do the work on yourself, it teaches you how to be a better person. For many people to see, I ain't got to say nothing. I could walk into a room. My energy gonna show. My aura gonna show. My presence gonna speak 1,000 words. Let's continue.
Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's just how my reaction. So
man, I appreciate you guys sharing that, because I have kind of covered that briefly on my channel. About I would say maybe 90 to 95% of people I know personally haven't supported this platform at all. Nothing. And I'm talking like going viral 3-4 times, and it's because of the lane I chose. I chose a lane where I wasn't going to pander, where I was going to have those tough conversations, and where people who may disagree that we're even talking about certain topics, this is a space where we're allowed to do that. And I knew that in advance, but it's one thing to think you know that. It's another thing to see that, like Ace was saying, when you seeing like, man, this is getting big, this is blowing up, and you can, but now I'm where Eli is, where I really don't bring it up or talk to people in my personal life anymore at all. And the strange thing, bro, I just started doing this a year ago. I mean,
I even have individuals that didn't like my content. I call it conversation and reviews. Conversation and reviews is me doing reaction videos and giving my perspective, giving my thesis on it. But I'm going to tell you something. I rattled a lot of cages, and I'm going to continue to rattle a lot of cages, because I'm going to do what needs to be done to put that truth out there and keep that truth out there and come from a different angle. See, I love coming at different things differently. Okay? And add my personality. Those that know me know my personality, my sense of humor. Because I'm a lover of life. So I'm going to have fun. You're going to be laughing around me. You're going to be feeling good around me. The things that I say, you're going to laugh now, but think later. And it's not going to hit you until later of what I said. You see? I don't need to just hide behind things or run. I tackle things head on. And a lot of the discussions, a lot of the conversations that I have with individuals, it's a nail biter. But at the same time, it's like, man, that's truth. Man, he's spot on. And I only speak from my experience. You see, sometimes you need to sit back and walk a mile in someone's shoes, and you will have a better understanding, a better overstanding of where one is coming from. A large number of people are quick to judge without sitting back and having a conversation with a brother. My people's already reached out to Jeff St. James and trying to, hopefully, things work out right. I could be a guest on this show and a few others I'm working on. Corey Holcomb, 5150. My homegirl, Danica Marie. So just to name a few individuals, you're going to see your boy Big Truck on their platforms this year. Let's continue.
January. And 2 weeks ago when I did the Charleston White live performance in Atlanta, again, this is a year of me doing this. I got off the plane, called the Lyft, got in the back of the Lyft. I'm on my phone doing something. I noticed I'm not leaving. The driver turned around staring at me, talking about something. Are you on a podcast? And I was like, yeah, right. So he drives me to the event. I get there. A few people recognize me or whatever, which is cool. One dude drove 100 miles from a neighboring state to come to the show to meet up and take pictures with me. So I'm like, this is different,
dope.
right?
Yeah,
and then when I leave the event, I head back to the airport. And while I'm there, this is all within 28 to 30 hours. I'm at the airport, sitting at the bar at one of those restaurants in the airport. A guy and his wife or girlfriend comes up, daps me up, says he loves the content, keep going. And then my bartender who's handing me the bill says, bro, I love your content, keep going. And I'm like, 3 security companies have reached out to me so far. So in my head, all of these are dope. But at the same time, I know everybody's not happy with my stuff or likes my content or whatever.
And it's okay. Because it's okay. Not everybody's going to like our content. Because I put it out there like that as well. I knew a lot of people wasn't going to like my content. Hold on. I knew a lot of people wasn't going to like my content. Man, the things that you say, you go off the Richter scale. But at the same time, everything that you saying is true about the behavior of a large number of individuals. Yeah. I don't believe in lying to the people. That's like a preacher standing on a pulpit lying to the congregation. Nah, tell the truth. Tell them people the truth. You know? I'm at Applebee's. I'm chilling. Eating my 2 for $20. Manager comes up. You look familiar. I'm tearing up my burgers. Podcast. The King's... yeah. So I get it. And I understand. But at the same time, I don't let that stuff go to my head. I'm just a regular person behind the mic doing this. But you never know who's watching. You never know who's tuning in. You see? And I'm okay with that. I treat people like humans. I don't let things go to my head. I'm still humble. And then they see me, you big, you got to do something. Then they see these on my finger. Okay. Ain't nobody that size for no reason. But it's all love. It's all love. Let's continue.
So I'm like, well, I actually need some security next year at later point. Like right now, it doesn't feel like it.
Not, man. Goddamn. Like,
yeah, right now, I feel like I don't need it. But at the same time, this happened around the corner from my job. This happened in Philly, where a car pulled up next to me, drove right past me, stopped 5 feet ahead of me, Somebody hopped out the passenger seat, turned around, pointed, and was like, "Yo, you got a podcast?" And I was like, "Do you like it?" And he was like, "Man, I love your stuff." And I said, "Well, yeah, then it was me."
Depends on if you like it, like, you know what I mean?
Right. So
I'm humbled and I'm grateful and I'm thankful for everyone to tuning in. Please put a number 1 in the chat. If you're on Facebook, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, put a number 1 in the chat. I love you all, and I'm so thankful and grateful to have the opportunity to start this platform and see where it's going. I'm looking forward to it. You know, the King's Table, I remember when I spoke to Kevin Samuels before, you know, his transition. He said, "Big Truck, you sitting on a gold mine with the King's Table." He said, "I like that name." He said, "One thing this here, continue to be yourself and continue to be truthful with the words that come out of your mouth because people are listening." I said, "Okay." He said, "Have fun with it. That's it. Have fun with it. You know, yeah, you're going to rattle cages. There's going to be some individuals that's not going to like it. And it's okay. When you read the comments, there's going to be some good comments. There's going to be some bad comments. Don't get in your feelings. Still be respectful." And I carry that to this day. It's your boy, Big Truck. Subscribe to both channels. Subscribe to all my channels. Amazing things coming this year. Stay tuned. Truck Nation Apparel's coming March 20th, 2026. We're going to do the damn thing, and we're going to have fun doing it. Go out there and live your